Okay, it's turn 28. We're moving our dwarfy boy around. Actually, I shouldn't have moved him there. Oh well, this is after the turn's rolled. I'm going back to record this, so I can't change that now. The pig armies are coming together here in Ramesha, and I'm hoping that he attacks me, to be totally honest. I think I can win a big face-off, a big pork-off here in Ramesha, and I want that to happen. So I'm drawing my troops in. I should have... These guys are going over here to invest Wolf and Plain, just to keep these troops from going anywhere. Down here, I have my... I have a small unit, Castor, is moving down this way into the Caverns of Neck, in the hope that he can hit this army if it's coming after me before it actually comes after me, and do a bunch of damage with his poison to it. That will leave me with entirely pigs, and I want that so that my pigs don't get massacred by my own poison auras. I'd rather have the poison auras fight separately because I have a massive quantity of pigs. This is something like 130, that was about 20, this is about 160 pigs, something like that. And a bunch of monks to bless them, a bunch of farmers' husbands to bless them. Plus, I have a couple mages that have a couple castings of Swarm in them, and overall, I think I can just trample the enemy underneath my porcine hooves if they come and attack me. So, that's what I plan to do. In terms of research, we're about to hit alteration level 7, or, well, I say about to. I actually mean in 4 turns we'll hit alteration level 7. Alteration level 6 gave us access to transformation, which is sort of hilarious. I could potentially use this. Now, unfortunately, I have misfortune scales, so the odds of me using transformation on my Nature 2 mages successfully in my Dominion, pretty bad. I would have to find somebody who has luck scales and use it there before my Dominion spread. Actually, you know what? Noose has luck scales. I could walk over here to Jabero and transform in luck 3. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. That's too good. I have to. Over here, we're still spamming out more boars. More Piggly Wigglies. The pig herd increases in size with every passing day. Last turn I spawned 33 pigs, and they are moving out to replace the losses that I anticipate in this battle, because even when I win a war, even when I win a battle with pigs, I'm likely to lose a lot of them. Now, of course, it's possible this army will, just come over here to besiege my palisade or something, but if they do that, I'll move my pigs straight in for the capital, and they absolutely cannot stop me. This is the majority of their military force, their armed might, led by their god. They have to have this guy in the capital, or near the capital, in order to stop me from taking the capital with masses and hordes of pigs. And of course, I've got Big Bill casting Howl as well. So, we'll see how that works in turn 29. On a bigger world scale, we have the impending war between Swanpire and Plaguetopia that should be happening in the next couple of turns. I have my in Lomark. What happened in Lomark? Yeah, in Lomark, this was apparently an accident. I had talked to Swanpire, he had called off the attack, etc., but he already sent those guys, and they got destroyed by my patrolling stinking varmints, because Hatun Runa are very bad at fighting. So we had the stinking varmints advancing, we had these guys summoning swarms, so they were covered when the Hatun Runa dropped. The Hatun Runa dropped on the bugs, and then the Hydra hatchlings came back and murdered them all, and then the remainder of the enemy troops ran away. So, we wiped out 75 of them for a total of 6 actual losses. It said Big Bill has been permanently vanquished. That's just a bug that's been hanging around for the last few patches. What's happened is we've had Olmochase, and now Nixtlan has been defeated. And Nixtlan was... Where was Nixtlan? I'm not sure. I don't remember. But everyone left is kind of a little bit of a power right now. We'll see how things go. Ultimately, I think the strongest player on the board is the underwater discard pile, because they have some of those actual good units, and they also are underwater where they can't really be attacked. But I feel like I can push them off the land if they come up on land pretty easily, so I'm not super worried about them. But for now, let's see if we can lure Noose into breaking his power in a climactic battle in Ramesha, and then we'll work on taking over his lands and adding them to the glory of Hydrangea. So I'll see you next turn. I'll see you in turn 29. Okay, folks, it's turn 29, and the apocalypse has come to Ramesha. We were attacked. My poison boys did not get out of the battle site, which I thought at the time was unfortunate, but might have actually worked out well. So, in the red corner, we have the army of Noose, their only, really, and greatest field army. They have a smattering of Jaguar Tribe warriors, or metalheads, as they have been dubbed. They have a significant block of their Flesh God warriors, with the hatchets and the javelins and the awe bless. They are led by their god, Awakening Lad. He's here with his gear. He's got an enchanted spear. He rhymes a lot. He's got an eye shield, a horror helmet, boots of long strides, giving him a high map move, and swiftness for high combat speed, and bracers of protection. So lots of prot, very high defense, very high attack, excellent repel ability with the enchanted spear, high damage. He has the awe and fear combo. He's generally a very, very dangerous lad. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Sons of Apollo, all of whom have lots of magic but no gems. It looks like, actually, he may have used this battle to weed out the 4 random Sons of Apollo. This guy has some gems, so he may be forming a communion with them, which is an expensive but viable way to use them. And in the back, he's got about 50 pigs. Obviously, they use my pig description because I'm more important than Noose is, but but they're here and they have awe. Then on my side of the field, we have 160 pieces of pork, not blessed yet. We have Castor the Smoking Hot Farmer in the back. Now, this does mean that we have my stinking varmints are just completely intermixed with them, just spread all through the center of my own formation, which is bad. Worse, we have my monks, my farmers' husbands, my blessers, are right next to the poison. Now, fortunately, the formation is kind of loose enough that they'll be able to move past them pretty quickly, but even so, a lot of these guys are probably about to die. At least, on the plus side, they're not near most of my mages, and they're not near my god. And they are near Sui Pig, so they might kill her. That'd be nice. So we start off. The blessings start to go down. So at least a significant fraction, if not all, of my pigs will be blessed. And my monks have poison resistance, so some of them might not die. Up in the front, Pig is about to clash with Pig. Got some impact. Some of his pigs are actually killing mine because they have some attack density, and my guys aren't blessed yet up at the front. So they're not hitting him with the vengeance. Lots of stones flying into the middle. Yeah, as they start to hit pigs that have the vengeance on them, they start to really take a hit. Some of the mages have actually just killed themselves. We've got my bugs from Swarm, or his bugs, in the back. Howl is drawing in wolves as a distraction. Lots of damage happening, but now the Blood Vengeance is hitting harder and harder. And now the trampling truly begins. Let's shift into overdrive. Boom. The trampling. So, the Nusian army is destroyed. I've taken a lot of friendly fire casualties from poison. I've taken a lot of casualties that I haven't retaliated against because I didn't have map-wide blessing. Because fucking Sui Pig is still alive. And as long as she's alive, I can't declare another prophet. So I need her dead. Anyway, but we've entirely surrounded Awakening Lad. Now, my troops cannot kill Awakening Lad. He doesn't regenerate, so if I had all the pigs around him all blessed, he might potentially kill himself on them, but he does have magic resistance 19. So, unlikely. He's likely to pass most of those checks. But what I do have is wolves coming in from Howl and poison. So even though he has poison resistance 5, he's eventually just soaked in poison. And the wolves are keeping him in place. So he's just standing there, taking poison damage every round, slowly trying to cut himself free. But it is a slow process, and you can see his poison is now maxed out, because he's been standing in this cloud for so long. So, we're at 15 HP, 1 tick. Boom. There he takes a tick and turns into a ghost, but the ghost still has poison on him, which is sort of hilarious and maybe considered that might be a bug of some kind, that that the spirit is so poisoned, because he's an undead spiritual being. He has poison resistance 25 like all the other undead, but he still has the poison on him. Which means that when he gets off the field, all his remaining poison hits him at once. And boom. Yeah, he's killed by the leftover poison. So, almost nothing is left of my army. I have Castor the Smoking Hot Farmer here. I have a few random units. I have Lamia the Organic Farmer. I think one of my organic farmers got trampled to death by pigs fleeing the battlefield. I have one farmer's husband up there. I think one other ran off the field, and I have Big Bill, alive and triumphant on the bloody pig fields of Ramesha. And these are the final casualties. So, I lost more numbers, including 7 out of my 9 farmers' husbands. But he lost 6 Sons of Apollo and his god. Plus 51 actually recruited, albeit cheap, Sacreds, and about 50 actually recruited Metalheads. So in terms of losses overall, I lost a lot less than he did. Now, the Stinking Varmints actually caused quite a number of casualties for me. But ultimately, they were the only ones who could take down his Onikunshu, so I'm glad they were there. Could I have done it another way? If I'd fought him the way I had planned to, the Stinking Varmints would have caused a bunch of casualties among, especially his prize pigs and probably also his infantry. But in this battle, I would have been able to overrun him a lot more easily, but I wouldn't have been able to kill the Onikunshu. So overall, it was good. Now, what that does mean is most of my forces have been annihilated. He still has a lot of units here. Most of them are Jaguar Tribe warriors. He also has probably another 40 or so prize pigs. 40 or 50 maybe. I've got a few scraps reassembling. So I've got a very, very small army here. Just about 20 units or so. But I have Big Bill. He does not have an answer to Big Bill. I don't think he has any kind of answer to Big Bill. I don't think he has a way to kill Big Bill. Because the only thing that he could use, potentially, would be like Sons of Heaven with Air 2 to throw Thunder Strikes at him or something, but he's going to be regenerating at 20% with high natural protection. So I don't think even that would actually kill him unless they got very, very lucky. I could swap this to Stone Skin, just out of sheer paranoia. That would give me cold vulnerability. Or I could just remove this. I could replace it with Strength of Gaia. Oh yeah, Strength of Gaia would give me even more regeneration. Let's do Howl, Strength of Gaia, and then cast spells, I guess. Because Howl, well, the other thing is Howl just straight up knocks me out anyway. Okay. But I've got more pigs moving in over here. I spawned almost 50 pigs this turn. I need to get a commander over there to lead them. Let's get Vano. And do I have any other recruiter? Let's get Avernus down there and Silicius down there. Great. So I'm recruiting Smoking Hot Farmers up here. Let's swap those out for those guys. We can recruit the Smoking Hot Farmers right here. And so the Malkis seem to have fallen back, but I still don't trust them. So we're gonna churn out another couple recruitments of Stinking Varmints down here. Still only got one Blood Mage. Unrest in this in Lomark is reaching critical levels. And yeah, that's the turn. It was a good turn. It's been a solid fucking turn. I haven't gotten paid for that Vine Shield that I sent to Playtopia yet, but I should be getting paid for it soon. Compitalia has her mace, her hammer, for hammer time, so I can forge more as soon as he wants more. I am contacting 2 more Boars of Carnage this turn. Almost out of nature gems again, but I'll be getting more nature income soon as I rampage through Nusian lands, because I know he must have some, since he summoned a number of prize pigs, which I believe is like 8 or 9, maybe 10, something like that. And yeah, it's going to take 1 turn. We're moving these guys over, then we'll storm this fort. I have some priests in order to bless the pigs, so the pig blessing can happen. These guys are going to have to be in the back. The pigs are definitely going to have to go first. And yeah, so we should be able to take Wolf and Plain without too much trouble. In a couple more turns, we'll have like 90 pigs rolling up to form a secondary army. Down here, we're recruiting more stinking varmints because they're surprisingly effective troops, and we don't have enough resources to recruit heavy cav in this province. Grugland now has just taken Black Peak, so they've gotten that Throne of Ascension. I'm going to have to take that off them, and sooner rather than later, but it can wait for now. For now, this is fine. Grugland is pretty extended down along here, and I think I can probably handle them, as I've said. That's not Grugland. Yeah, their cavemen are size 3, and they don't have any sacreds, so they can't stop me from trampling them. They can do a bunch of damage, but as long as I get my bless off, which requires that I have an actual fucking profit, Sui Pig is going to straight up kamikaze into Noose, with some number of varmints, just to try and kill people while dying, because I need to get Sui Pig dead. I need to start the countdown so that I can appoint a new prophet, and have that prophet actually have Holy 3 so I can cast Divine Blessing, because Divine Blessing is getting really important to have. When I have armies of 150 or 200 pigs, I must have Divine Blessing in order to make them work. If I'd had Divine Blessing in that battle, I would have actually taken a lot fewer casualties. Beyond that, research going fine, heading towards Alteration level 7, and that is about all to report. Now, we can see there was a battle in Lapintha where 2 Apus kamikazed onto another throne. That's this throne here, guarded by wizards. And then over here in Black Peaks, we can see the battle where Grugland's mini bondage came in and took out those guys. He doesn't have his bless because he's out of his dominion, but he has a ring of fire and bracers of protection. So he's fire resistant, he's poison resistant, he's not regenerating, which in his place I would have said was kind of dangerous, because I would be worried about this guy summoning water elementals and just punching him to death. But this guy's summoning fire elementals. That guy's only thrown out a small water elemental instead of a full-size one. And he's dropping all kinds of buff spells on himself. So he has that 27 prot. He's magic resistant. He's doing all kinds of good stuff. This fire elemental can't really hurt him on account of being fire damage. So that's fine. The water elementals can do some damage, but because they are small, they can't do all that much. So, yeah. Mini bondage is going to come through this just fine. I don't think there is any doubt. Okay, we don't need to watch the rest of that. So yeah, Grugland's god. I don't know what his bless is still, but I know he's pretty beefy, pretty butch, pretty ham. Not nearly as ham as me, though. Big Bill is, of course, the hammest. And to say otherwise is damnable heresy. So yeah, that's the turn. We will see how things go. Take Wolf and Plain, move my troops up out of the Hexwoods, and we'll be in a position to launch the assault on Noose. The longer we wait, the worse it gets, because Noose are summoning their powers there, but they don't have their god anymore. So we should be able to make some progress with the Dominion, especially now that we have 5 temples. So, in any case, I will see you in turn 30. Alright, it's turn 30. We are assaulting the fort in Wolf and Plain. I think we should be able to take it. Not entirely sure, but I should be able to get off the blessing on at least some number of my pigs here. You know, I don't know. I've got about 50. I should be able to bless, I feel like, at least 20, 30, something like that. Kind of depend on when my priests die. If they do die, but they will probably be taking arrow fire from the forts. So, them dying is very possible. I'm launching Sui Pig directly into the teeth of the enemy in an effort to get her killed. Finally. I'm hoping that she dies. I could send her with some troops in an effort to actually take out the province defense, but A, that would waste some of my troops, and B, I want her to die so that I can make someone who's not fucking mute the Prophet and get an actual Holy 3 who can cast Divine Blessing again, which I am really, really missing right about now. I got priests coming out of a couple of my forts, so that's all good. I should actually build... something up here. I'd like to build a palisade, but I don't quite have that kind of dough at the moment, so it'll have to wait. But Mikhail here can just hide for the moment, I guess. I've got my scouts sneaking out into the middle of the world to see what I can see. But yeah, so we're taking Wolfen Plain. I've got another 90-some pigs, plus my first prize pigs, all of them, which is 20-some at this point, moving up from Hexwoods. That should give me enough forces to roll in and put Noose under siege. If I can get enough, and then it'll just be a question of can I get enough blessers to bless all those pigs so that I can launch the assault, because my blessed pigs beat his blessed pigs. And his army here is, you see here, Firebirds are a very significant minority of his 120 units. Probably not a strict majority, but a lot of them. So I should be able to take this fort if I can get the pigs in. Now he has the Sons of Heaven, he has Shamans, so he'll be able to summon elementals as a defensive strategy. So I will have to work to try and run him out of gems, or at least run his gem stockpiles down before I can successfully invade. So I'll have to feint, I'll have to move in with small numbers of pigs at first. I'll have to try and cast spells that will wipe out some of his troops. If I had evocation research, the thing to do would actually be to roll in with a dwarf or something and earthquake him. Because I actually have a couple of pretty good dwarves now, like Frej here. Frej is designed for this work. He has air and he has earth level 3. So he can drop a flight on himself and then earthquake. And especially if he forges some earth boots, so he'll be earth 4. I actually am going to do that, as it turns out. I'm going to convert some of my fire gems, get an earth gem, and forge a pair of earth boots. So that will make him earth 4, which is pretty sweet. As soon as I hit alteration level 7, which I'll do in 2 turns, I'm going to grab Thaumaturgy 4 so that I can start casting Gnome Lore. Well, assuming that I build up the earth gems. In any case, Brock is going around site searching for earth sites. I've got, of course, a few provinces site searched up to level 4. Actually, you know what? Frej, you're earth level 3. You don't need to be here to do that. You can move out to start site searching for level 3. Because Harek is good enough to forge earth boots. That'll be fine. Okay. So we're able to ramp up earth pretty effectively. We can hit earth 4, no trouble. And of course, Big Bill already has earth 4. Nature is still the sticking point. I'm starting to save up nature gems again. I've cut down to 1 boar of Carnudes per turn. Should be fine. Now, over here, Noose, I think, is, Grugland, rather. Grugland is setting up, this looks like an invasion army to me. Lizard Warriors, tons of Shamans, so he's got a working combat communion there. And I think he's going to try to roll it in and potentially take Noose itself, but at least he's going to try and take some of the borderlands, get a little bit of profit out of Noose's death. This, I think, is standing off against the underwater discard pile. It has a large section of mermen, so a pretty significant amphibious force. If we look at mercenaries, nobody's really using... wait, I can hire the boar mage. I could hire the boar mage. Cost 216 gold. I actually do have gold right at the moment. That would be sort of hilarious. The siege strength of this army, incidentally, is going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So I will be able to bash this place down in 1 turn. And then it'll just be a matter of charging through and doing the thing. In terms of spells that I could cast, I can cast Maws of the Earth. I can also cast Army of Giants. Albeit, I don't think Army of Giants is super useful to me. Legions of Steel, also not super useful since the boars don't actually wear armor. I think overall, Howl and then Strength of Gaia and going in might be the best or just casting spells, might be the best I can do. I have successfully spread my dominion to this province, but of course Noose still has 5 black candles, So Big Bill will be quite weak in Noose itself. Which will be a little bit of a problem, but nothing we can't handle, I don't think. And, of course, my pig replacement time is far, far shorter than Noose's pig replacement time on account of him only having 9 first prize pigs, while I have, like I said, 20-some at this point. And more on the way. I did lose a province to barbarians this turn. Fortunately, it wasn't a province I cared a whole lot about. But I am going to want to take it back. I don't think I'm going to worry about it right at the moment. Like, not just yet. But at some point here, I am going to want it back. Still recruiting 1 organic farmer per turn in the Wood of Many Paths. Building up that research. I could probably take this back just by bringing in mages and dumping like 8 nature gems into casting Swarm. Especially with 30 archers backing that up. Yeah, that's a thought. I think instead... I want Remus here patrolling because I still don't trust this. You know, all these Hatun Runas he's got here with the heavy infantry and everything. And... unfortunately, since these guys are undisciplined, I can't make them guards. So what I need to do is I do need to recruit a few barbarians. Oh, well, no, barbarians are also undisciplined, aren't they? Shit. They can't be bodyguards either. Ooh, that's ugly. I want some bodyguards, just in case somebody comes and tries to assassinate me with bane spiders. I could use pale ones as bodyguards, I suppose, but they're garbage. Absolute garbage. Those guys are all undisciplined as well. Those guys take too many resources. I can't actually recruit them. Yoicks. I guess let's start recruiting some heavy infantry just for bodyguard work. Heavy infantry ain't bad bodyguards, but I'll recruit a few heavy infantry up here in Hexwoods and get some over to Lowmark as quick as I can to give this guy a bodyguard, because this guy is the linchpin of our defenses right now. Still only have 1 blood mage. I was hoping to have more by now, but that's alright. But Cincius here is going to move to Debrithia and start blood hunting it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start blood hunting here. I've got Remus patrolling already, and I can just blood hunt in this province, which is low income because the unrest is shitty. And once I've built up a few blood slaves, I already have construction for, so I'll be able to forge him a sanguine dowsing rod and get straight to the business. A little bit late to be building up a blood economy in a game, but I think it'll be okay. So that's the plan. Take that fort, collect the army, go in against Noose, probably do a raid or 2 just to clear out any excess gems he has, and then go in when he's down to his income, hopefully. And over here, we're just going to kind of hold the line. We'll go get Silver Fangs back. Sometime in the next few turns, I'll be able to appoint a new prophet. And I may actually make a first prize pig my prophet, because they're large and tough. And they're fortune tellers as well, which is pretty sweet. And so they'd be able to then, you know, like, survive random hits and stuff like that. If that's an option, I may well do that. But in any case, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 31. Okay, turn 31. So we took Wolfen Plain with little by way of casualties. These 3 Arrowsmiths came out and cast Earthquake at us, and they killed a bunch of our kind of support units, but the pigs themselves don't die to Earthquake very much because they have a lot of hit points. So the Earthquakes did not actually stop me, and then I took over the fortress with, once again, few casualties. I lost 6 of my prize pigs to the province defense, the guys on the walls, essentially. But we killed 3 mages, we made 1 run away, and we took the place with relatively few casualties, which is good. Enemy spy tried to infiltrate the capital, which is annoying. I need to put the province defense here back up. I'm recruiting a whole bunch of stinking varmints because I want to go use them to take out the barbarians here in a turn or 2. With archers backing them up from the Wood of Many Paths. Beyond that, we've got good old Silicious here. It's going to come over there. Let's recruit... well, it's not many. I could recruit some actual infantry here. Or I could churn out another few stinking varmints. I don't think for sieges these guys are actually very good, because we're going to end up kind of crammed in a doorway trying to fit all my pigs through it, and it's going to take some doing. I've got a little over 100 pigs right now, and 500 siege strength. Now, he has... I just suicided my prophet into Noose. He has a lot of province defense. Like, 200 units worth of province defense. This is, I think, 45 points of PD. So, you know, good on him. Hopefully, I can stop it from being particularly effective. What I'm going to do here is actually split the army. This unit should go with Big Bill. And Big Bill is going to double back alone. And the reason he's doubling back alone is that he's going to take to block Peacehaven to prevent this army from taking it. This army right here in Mince. Not that one. No, I didn't want to watch that. Damn it. Swanpire attacked a throne and got beaten back. Which is interesting, because that's like a super, super weak army. However, Swampire is just beating the absolute snot out of Plaguetopia. They're raiding with Hatun Runas very effectively. The underwater discard pile is attacking Makono. Up here in Lapintha, that's who they threw a few random forces at. So yeah, Plaguetopia is having a terrible day. Because they're just getting absolutely assaulted by Swanpire. Now, this may not reflect the true realities of the war, in the sense that while Hatun Runas can raid very effectively, they can't really win battles, so if Plaguetopia has some actual troops somewhere, they might still be okay. Like, Hatun Runa are not going to win fights against Triarii or Praetorian Guard practically ever. A thugged-out Hochmeister can also beat up large numbers of Hatun Runa, probably without taking any damage. So, Plaguetopia has the answers here. I don't know how well he's deploying them. I see a bunch of militia and Christi here in Greendale. I don't know what's in Plaguetopia. It's a question for sure. And I absolutely do not want them to just win against Plaguetopia and take over with no problem. Up here, I'm moving these troops over here to reinforce this gang, so that if this army moves troops up to try and take the province back, then, surprise, we'll stomp them with a bunch of pigs. And, of course, a bunch of cute little Hydra hatchlings. Down here, like I said, I'm moving this army backwards, so that if this force continues forward, they'll be stopped here in Peacehaven. I also have a pretty significant defensive force here inside the province, of 15 stinking varmints, and then 2 mages who can cast Swarm, if I dedicate the nature gems to that. This force, Avernus plus a whole bunch of priesty boys, is actually going to go forwards but not into Noose. And these guys, my bigger piggers, are going to move. I need to move them to a fort. I might actually pull them back. I don't want to attack his capital just yet. Even though he has his I think his big pigs looks like they may have actually moved, and I don't know where they went, if so. Either that, or for some reason my scout's just not seeing them. His first prize pigs. I know he has a number of them. He has like 9. But in any case, this army is going to duck down south, take Caverns of Neck, and we're going to isolate him in an effort to prevent him from recruiting many or any more mages. I don't want to just send these troops in to attack him just yet. With all that province defense he has there, I'd take some casualties punching through it, and then I probably wouldn't have enough to actually successfully siege the capital. So we need to build up pigs for a few more turns. So in pursuit of that, I think we're going to move the pigs back to here and assemble our porkage here in Golm. So hopefully that army will get destroyed moving into Peacehaven and be caught by the 50 surprise pigs and a mage casting Howl and get riggedy wrecked, lose all 4 of its mages. That would be ideal. They may stay here, in which case they will crack the fort, and then they will be faced with the prospect of assaulting the fort, past 3 swarm casters and these 15 lads just blocking up the gate and completely coating it with poison. And even if they cast poison resistance, they will still eventually die from the poison there. Over here, I've got another priest who can move up to join the Piggly Wigglies. Where else do I have priests being recruited? Not in a lot of places. I should build a temple up here. Not a palisades, a temple. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty solid. Next turn I'll hit Alteration level 7, which won't give me a ton of new stuff. It'll give me Marble Warriors, and it will also give me Creeping Doom and Mass Protection. Mass Protection is a pretty good one. It does make me susceptible to fire, so I don't want to use it against Noose all that much. If he's not expecting it, it may be a decent thing to do. But if we're in a situation where he's going to deploy fire elementals against me, like if I'm attacking his capital, then Mass Protection, probably bad. But Marble Warriors, good. Creeping Doom, good. And, you know, all kinds of cool things I can do with that. I also have access to Iron Pigs if I really, really want to cast it. Albeit they're not sacred, so I don't want to cast it. If I could get Sacred Iron Pigs, that would be amazing. I do, however, have a pair of Earth Booties now. So Fredge here, who is Earth 3, could potentially move forward and do some work supporting the army. He's got Maws of the Earth. He's about to have Marble Warriors. He's got Legions of Steel. In fact, I probably am going to have him do that. It'll take him several turns to get there. I already moved him back here. Let's search for magic sites for at least a turn or so. I don't think I need to show all of my hand yet. But we'll go down here to the Caverns of Neck. This gentleman should carry some gems and sneak over to meet the army. And we can't recruit anything because we're under siege, but that's fine. So, that is the turn. And I'll see you all in turn 32 as we advance further into Nusian territory and threaten his capital with immediate and wild destruction. Thanks for watching. See you soon.